What does he do?
He's a wind-up figure, like a music box. But this is the most complicated one I've ever seen.
The great truism about all the awards is that they largely sing from the same hymn sheet. The Oscars sing a bit louder than everyone else. Those are the ones that we kind of listen to. So the nominations tell us that they really like Hugo, which leads the field. They really like The Artist. They really like Midnight in Paris. And if you take those three films, I guess what they're saying is that they really like the past. They really like going back, and they liked 1920s Paris and the early days of cinema. The cliche about Oscar voters is that they're all retired editors who live in retirement homes up in Beverly Hills, and that here finally are some films that they can really relate to.
It's funny how things rearrange themselves. When I saw Hugo, I didn't think I was seeing the biggest Oscar film of the year. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a beautifully made film. And now it's in pole position.
It's a total crapshoot, really, which is what makes it exciting, because you've got these films that have got one nomination floating about. You know, WE's got a nomination, and Drive's got a nomination for sound design. Tintin gets a nomination, but not for animation, for music. And Ides of March gets one for adapted screenplay. Really strange things going on.
My friends think just because I live in Hawaii, I live in paradise. We're all just out here sipping Mai Tais and catching waves. Hell, I haven't been on a surfboard in 15 years.
There's a lot of Hollywood big hitters out there who've shared a sort of decent amount of nominations amongst them. There's War Horse, Moneyball, The Descendants, The Help. They've all done reasonably well. I suppose they may have hoped that they would be dominating the nominations. Hasn't happened for any of them. The one that has been completely shut out is J. Edgar, which is not a huge surprise because it was pretty disappointing when it actually arrived. But Leonardo DiCaprio presumably might have thought he'd been in with a shout for Best Actor. Hasn't happened. There's
some interesting things happening in original screenplay, for instance. You've got Margin Call coming out of nowhere to get a nomination in that, and A Separation gets an original screenplay nomination as well as its foreign language one, which is strange because things like Young Adult might well have been in there. Diablo Cody wrote that, and that's one of these films that you would have thought at this stage, like J. Edgar and Shame, would come away with at least one nomination, but in fact it's got nothing.
Father, Mother, always you wrestle inside me. Always you will.
I'm really happy to see The Tree of Life in there. I've been banging on about this film for so long, and it seemed to be largely shut out of both the Globes and the BAFTAs. It's a film that inevitably divides audiences. It's this sort of rapturous meditation on life, the universe and everything, and it seems that people have largely kind of shied away from it. So I'm really pleased that we're seeing a bit of a kind of late bloom. I don't think it's going to win, but I'm really glad to see it there and for Terrence Malick to be on the Best Director shortlist. I'm also really pleased to see Gary Oldman be nominated for Tinker Tailor, which I think is a great grey performance. It's not a colourful performance. It's a performance that's deliberately hiding itself away.
We had pretty high expectations of what a number of British films would do, and hasn't really happened. I mean, Tinker has got 3 nominations after being completely shut out of the Golden Globes, and I think they'll probably think that's a pretty good result, especially for Gary Oldman getting Best Actor nomination. But I think when that film was first premiered and first released, I think they deep down they thought they'd be looking at quite a lot of awards. Hasn't really worked out. Shame has been completely shut out. My Week with Marilyn looked like it was going to be a strong contender. Again, hasn't really happened.
It's going to be the artist's year. I think that it probably will win the Best Film Award. I think it will probably win Best Director too, and maybe even Best Actor. And the irony of all this is that, you know, this is the silent film that we've all now been talking about so much that we've gone hoarse and lost our voice. But I think we'll probably be talking about it come the end of February again.